People often ask me, am I optimistic or pessimistic? Is this an immediate crisis? And the answers to that is yes and maybe. Yes, it's a crisis in the sense that if we had started 25 years ago, when a number of us were trying to get people to do it, to get those rules for efficient houses and machines, to start the research and development on renewable alternatives and deep earth sequestration of carbon, we'd be much further along the way. We'd have a larger fraction of our systems now in cleaner and greener, and the price of each unit would be cheaper. But I can't cry over that water that's under the bridge. We are where we are, so let's make sure that we get on with the job, and we have to do it a little more vigorously than had we started 20 years ago. Because already we're 3/4 of a degree Celsius warmer than we were. In the last 30 to 40 years, more than half of that is due to the human use of the atmosphere as a free sewer to dump our smokestack and tailpipe waste. So we've got to start cranking back on that waste. Well, it takes a generation to transfer out of a lot of those large energy systems. Sometimes it takes 2 generations. The longer you delay, the longer you're postponing the benefits of your actions, and eventually the more expensive it's going to be, both in terms of the damages and the costs of fixing it. So I'm very pessimistic that we can prevent the damage that's already built into the system. I'm very optimistic that we can prevent the really catastrophic damages that we're building into the system if we continue to do nothing. So, all right, we're committed to 1 to 2 more degrees pretty much no matter what we're doing. We better learn how to adapt to it. But if we take strong action, we can keep it to 2 and not have to go up to 3, 4, 5 and start getting to the catastrophic outcomes with high probabilities of melted glaciers and meters of sea level rise and wildfire catastrophes all the time and magnified hurricanes and the kinds of stuff which, when you get past a degree or 2 more warming, start becoming more and more prevalent, and an extinction crisis where up to half the species in the world would be committed to extinction. This is not a very happy world, and the good news is it's not necessary to do it. But we've got to take those actions. Should have started 20 years ago, but let's get going. And if we don't get as fast as we want to go in 10 years, unlike the popular sentence, which is, oh, and after we don't solve it in 10 years, it's lost. It's not lost. It just means that we'll have more damages than we otherwise would have had, and let's just work even harder after that. When we get the consciousness to get the problem solved, we can invent our way out of this problem, but we're not going to do that until we start putting some pressure on. I've always liked to say, you can't make an omelet until you crack the eggs. We've got to have some rules. They have to have real teeth, real costs, real distributions, and we need to get rolling. And in the end, we'll get much more benefits in a safer environment, plus the total cost of the economy is still a trivial fraction of the growth rate in our GDP.